So, I had a very weird encounter today, and so I had these people from some church come and knock on my door and like ask me some questions and then ask if like they could pray for me. And I was just like, no thanks, I got it covered. And they're like, oh, you got it covered. Well, one of the ladies like pushed past one of the other ladies and was just like, oh, you got it covered. Well, why don't we go ahead and cover, cover you, also, or whatever the case is. And I was just like, and then she just like starts, and the way that like I curled up and was just like put my hands in front of myself and then scrunched up in a ball like I was defending against an attack. Like, no. And I was like, no, that's okay. And like, close the thing. But I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I just said I was fine. Like, okay, I don't like when people pray for me without my permission. I really don't. And if I don't know you well, I'm not going to give you permission to pray for me. Like, you can wish me well, but I have had very weird experiences with people trying to pray for me. And a lot of the times, the intentions that they have when they are trying to pray for me are not always good. Because people can pray for you in all kinds of different ways. And some of them can pray that you basically become a pushover and let them do whatever the hell it is that they want you to do and buy into all their bullshit. And honestly, I've hated when people try to pray for me ever since that one time in high school where I was moving across states and we were taking a plane. And I guess I mentioned that in passing, or somehow one of my teachers from my first school found out. I don't know if I said something or if she just heard me talking to somebody else about it. And she was just like, I'll pray that your plane doesn't crash. And that didn't sit right with me. And I was just like, okay. I didn't tell her what day specifically that we were leaving. But like that's not something that you say to a 14-year-old that you'll pray that their plane doesn't crash. And mind you, this teacher did not motherfucking like me. She failed me in her class to the point where I had issues with my other school after that because she had like the glass dishes, because it was a biology class. She had some of the glass dishes sitting up on the table, and then at the end of the day, the last class would put the chairs up on the table. Now, mind you, I'm a fucking teenager, and like, I don't. Normally, I do have that. Well, I've always had that because I had younger siblings, where I would always be aware of what was on the table when moving stuff around. But this time, I was an average teenager and was not, seeing stuff happening. And I dragged the chair off and it broke one of the dishes. And ever since then, she had actually refused to check my work and ended up failing me in that class. She did not fucking like me. So, yeah, that's why I don't let people fucking pray for me. Because she was pissed off at me ever since that happened. And it was a fucking accident. It's not like I did it on purpose. Like, why would you have glass? Like, it's a room full of teenagers. And mind you, my brain didn't always function like an average teenager. I was always the one moving the cups from the edge of the table that my siblings had when they were eating and stuff. So, this was just that one time that my brain was just like, oh, I'm not in, I have to manage damage mode. And yeah, ever since then, she fucking didn't like me. So when she said that she would pray that my plane doesn't crash, and she said it with a hint of a laugh too. And I was just like, nah, I'm really glad that I'm getting away from you because you doing too damn much. So yeah, I don't let people pray for me. And I don't like when people try to force their prayer onto me either. So yeah, that kind of triggered me a little bit. I was just like, no, 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 you don't do that, you don't do that. Mm-mm. Besides, most people that are like Christian don't go along with the whole spirituality thing, and I don't feel like faking the funk for nobody, honestly. So yeah, that was the weird encounter that I had today that triggered a fucking memory from hellas ago.